Let's get something clear right away. If you're starting a business for the first time and you feel like you're not ready, like you don't belong in the room, like someone's eventually gonna figure out you're winging it, you're not broken. You're exactly where most founders start. The difference is, most people never move past that feeling. If you're just starting out and you feel the onset of imposter syndrome tightening in on you, you're not going to want to miss this one. Let's start it up. Hello, and welcome to Stack and Startup Al Fresco, the show where we ask you to think outside the box as we talk about business growth, leadership, and the real strategies behind scaling companies. Today, I want to talk to you about something that doesn't get discussed enough in business: imposter syndrome. Not as a buzzword, not as a motivational quote, but as a real barrier that quietly stops people from ever getting started or from even growing past a certain point. If you're a first time founder or you're trying to put yourself out there for the first time, this matters more than your business plan, your tech stack, or your marketing strategy. Because if you don't address this, you will hesitate when you should act. And hesitation is expensive. So, what does imposter syndrome actually look like? Most people think imposter syndrome sounds like, I'm not good enough. But in business, it shows up differently. It sounds like, I need one more certification before I can launch. I should probably wait until I have more experience. Other people are already doing this so much better. And who's gonna take me seriously? And the most dangerous version, I'll start later. Here's the truth: imposter syndrome is not a lack of ability, it is a mismatch between your current identity and the new role you're stepping into. You're not used to seeing yourself as the founder, the expert, the decision maker. So your brain pushes back, not because you're incapable, but because this is unfamiliar. If you're starting your first business, you're doing something unusual. You're stepping into uncertainty. You're making decisions without a roadmap. You're asking people to trust you before you have a long track record. That creates friction. And here's the part most people don't say out loud: you're asking the market to believe in you before you even believe in yourself. That tension creates discomfort, and most people interpret that discomfort as a signal to stop. It's a signal that you're early. So, what is the cost of listening to it? If you let imposter syndrome drive your decisions, here's what happens: you delay launching, you underprice your services, you avoid visibility, you hesitate in conversations, and over time, you build a smaller version of what you're actually capable of. Not because you lack skill, but because you never fully stepped into the role. This is where a lot of businesses stall. They don't fail dramatically, they just never grow. So here's the shift that matters: you're not an imposter, you're just early in your development. Every founder you look up to at some point didn't know what they were doing, took on work that they hadn't fully mastered yet, figured things out in real time. The difference? They moved anyway. Competence is not built before action. It is built through action. If you wait until you feel ready, you will wait indefinitely. Now, let's make this practical. First thing you need to do is you need to narrow your scope. You don't need to be an expert in everything. You need to be useful to someone. Focus on one problem, one audience, and one solution. Confidence grows faster when the scope is smaller. Second thing you need to do, borrow confidence from results, not feelings. Feelings are unstable. Results are measurable. So start tracking conversations, small wins, client outcomes. Even minor progress builds evidence, and evidence builds that confidence. The third thing you need to do is stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. You're seeing their polished content, their established business, their refined messaging. What you're not seeing is their early mistakes, their uncertainty, their failed attempts. Comparison without context will distort your reality. Fourth thing you need to do is you need to get into the conversation early, and this is critical. Do not wait until everything is perfect to talk to people. Talk to potential clients, to peers, with other founders. You will realize quickly most people are just figuring it out. Fifth thing you need to do is you need to take action before you feel ready. This is one most people avoid. You will not feel ready, but you act anyway. Confidence is not the prerequisite, it is the byproduct. So, what does real confidence look like? Real confidence is not having all the answers, never feeling doubt, always being certain. Real confidence is moving forward while uncertain. It is the willingness to say, I don't have everything figured out yet, but I am capable of figuring it out. That is what clients respond to, not perfection, clarity, and progress. So, if you're feeling this right now, you're not behind. You're not underqualified. You are not an imposter. You are in the phase where identity is catching up to ambition. And that phase is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Because on the other side of it is the version of you that actually runs the business. If this resonates with you, focus less on feeling ready and more on taking the next step. Because the people who build businesses are not the ones who feel the most confident. They are the ones who move before confidence shows up. And if you're in that stage right now, you're exactly where you need to be. And as for me personally, this is not the first podcast that I've been a part of. It is, however, the first business that I have ever started. To say that I suffer from imposter syndrome is a bit of an understatement. I'm about 4 months in at the time of this recording, and I still worry when I walk into a room of other business professionals. The thing that keeps me going is that even though I feel everything that I have mentioned here today, I know that other business professionals have as well. That as long as I keep putting one step in front of the other, I'm going to keep on the right path. And in that actual moment, I try to compartmentalize those feelings so I can deal with them in the car ride home. Is this an effective method? I have no idea. But is one that has certainly worked, and I do hope that everything I have presented here today will help you on your own journey. I want to thank you for tuning in to Stack and Startup Al Fresco. If you have enjoyed this conversation, please make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. You can find us on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. To follow along as we continue to explore business and technology from a different perspective. Lastly, if you want to support these conversations directly, you can become a patron at patreon.com/stackandstartup. Until next time, keep thinking outside the box.